rise and fall at your call. This is the kickoff fight. You gotta think about what is at stake for a fighter who has only one fight on his record and doesn't have a knockout in his debut, right? We're looking at Jahid Munim, who's looking for his first knockout of his career, and clearly is in there with something of a journeyman, but not really an easy guy to get out of there. You know, one thing that is to be said about Narvaez is, I'd say one of the hardest things to do in boxing is to lose 86 fights and only be knocked out 3 times. It sounds like I'm giving him a backhanded compliment, but that's 83 times guys were trying to get him out of there, and in a losing effort, he stayed on his feet and finished the fight for the final bell. So Munim does not have an easy night, and every fighter wants to get that first knockout of his career.
Yeah, 100%, especially so early on when you're fighting guys of this, caliber. You think you can get them out of there, and you want to get them out of there and impress your fans. But a guy like, Narvaez, like you said, he's only been stopped 3 times in 86 losses. He's a tough man to get out of there. You have to be a special puncher to get that man out of there. He's obviously crafty, he's smart, and he knows how to survive. So you don't want to make yourself look bad trying to knock out someone that doesn't want to be knocked out. So he's better off just boxing to his abilities.
Right, to your point, I don't know what Narvaez is bringing, but I suspect he might be the kind of guy that can make you look bad if you're not really on your game. Starting out a card like this, a small hall show at York Hall, which is hallowed ground. I love fights in here. There's always ruckus. If you're at this show, it's because you love boxing. And when you start out, you want to set the tone. Second fight in your career, you want to start getting people talking about your name and showing up to see your fight, showing up early to see you get these wins. So it'll be interesting to see what Munim can do and just how crafty Narvaez is in there at surviving. And right now, he doesn't look like he's one of these fighters who's just staying away and trying to survive. He's mixing it up. So Munim is going to have his opportunities.
Yeah, he will. He will have his opportunities. But Narvaez, even though he is mixing up and he's coming forward, he has a tight guard. As he walks forward, he has a tight guard, and when he gets close enough, he tries to let them go. So as you can see, when Munim's trying to throw, he's really catching the gloves. He's not catching anything clean yet.
It's interesting that Jahid is starting slow. He's still trying to find his range, pawing with the jab. With only 4 rounds, you got to start faster than that.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not looking at a fighter who, even with his wins, and he does have wins, by the way, even with his wins, he's also not a knockout artist, right? So you shouldn't be in too much harm's way. He's got 17 wins. I'm talking about Narvaez now, with only 2 knockouts. So it's probably not a lot of power coming your way. A guy who's going to be inside, kind of bullying you, trying to make a difficult night for you. And I'd say have some confidence in your power. You're a long fighter. You got a long jab. Make him pay early and make him pay often. And you might be one of these guys that gets him, one of the 3 to the 3 guys that gets him out of there.
Yeah, I mean, if he does, that's a massive statement. But for now, I'm looking at Munim boxing. He's a back foot fighter. It's hard to generate power on the back foot, especially if you're not a natural puncher. So I can see him boxing. When he throws his jab, he pulls it a little bit. He doesn't really follow through with the jab. He pulls it on his shot. So I don't see a stoppage to that. You probably see a hard night's work. You probably see Narvaez just go out there and make him feel uncomfortable and may not respect his power and think he's going to sit on his chest and make him work for the win tonight.
With a fighter's build like we have with Jahid, should he be a back foot fighter? I mean, especially in this matchup, he's, like I say, longer, taller. What style of fight would complement his physique?
Men don't need to go backwards, but keeping it long. He can hold the center and keep it long at the same time. Just move around and then, try and push his opponent back with stiff jabs and stuff like that. But as for now, he's giving up too much ground. He's making Narvaez too comfortable going forward and thinking he's the bully in this fight. Like you said, he's the bigger man, Jahid.
Yeah.
So,
too much respect, right?
Too much respect, yeah, too much respect. Boxing with too much caution.
Make Narvaez pay for coming in. He's not coming in with a stiff jab. He's not really earning his real estate. So make him pay when he ducks his head in like that. Hit him with the uppercut. Keep that jab in his face. Make this your fight, and don't. He's treating him like an equal right now, which I think is just a caution of a young fighter who doesn't want to make a mistake or get caught with something he doesn't see.
100%. And I think he knows Narvaez is throwing back. He doesn't want to get caught or anything stupid, so he is being cautious. But to switch the attack, go head and body. You know, Narvaez has a nice tight high guard, but look at his body, he's wide open. Shots behind the elbow, he's got long arms, he's got long enough arms, Jahid. If he falls behind the elbows, you know, he might be able to get him out there with a body shot. But he's got to look for it.
If you're going to be disrespecting the man, I would disrespect him with my offense, not my defense. Keep your defense tight and disrespect him with just how many punches you're willing to throw and stay in the pocket. There you go, and at least we've seen some combination punches there. Nothing really got through, but he's getting comfortable, Jahid, that is. And I'm starting to see a little bit more mustard on that jab, which is we're going to get some action, but we're going to need to see a little bit more frequently.
I think Narvaez is going to make this real messy. He's going to make, you know, this hard for Jahid physically. I don't think he has any threat, you know, with his punch output, punch-wise, but I think physically he's going to try and make it hard for Jahid. But I'm looking at Jahid now, his eyes are just fixated on Narvaez's head. He's not looking at the openings, he's not trying to find anything. That was a nice stab to the body, but he can go around the elbows. If he just looks, it's there.
And you're right, that is the mark of not a young fighter. You know, he'll find that opportunities should be taken wherever they present themselves. 100%. With a body like Narvaez, I'd want to test it. I mean, those trunks are right up to his nipples. I think he's given us a little indication that maybe that body is soft, and I want to find out if that is in fact true. You know, a fighter with Narvaez's build also, to your point, Jahid's a little porous with his defense. There's that bolo punches available to him. I haven't seen Narvaez try it, but it reminds me of Maidana, not that Narvaez does, but the build, you know, that big over-the-top bolo punch can really be trouble for a tall fighter that has a porous defense.
Yeah, especially where he pulls back. Jahid pulls back a lot. You know, that was a nice roll there, but just naturally, when the shot comes, he pulls back. If Narvaez gets in close enough and, you know, whips him, like you said, the bowling right hand over the top, catch it.
There's a little bit of black accuracy.
That's a good body shot.
Right on the hip, but again, the hip is right at the neck, so you can't really tell where that
just needs to keep depositing those shots. Just keep going to the body, and soon enough, Narvaez will slow down.
I like that Jahid is looking for the uppercut, because that would be a splashy punch. It'd be a real good highlight shot, but you got to set it up. That he's not really walking into the punch. Narvaez says he's not giving you that punch, so you got to earn it. You got to work for it. You got to create that opening. And right now, I feel like Jahid is more going through drills. It looks like he's doing pad work. He's calling shots in his head, and to your point, not looking at what's opening, what's in front of him.
Yeah, I think he may be just too comfortable. It's weird because he is boxing cautious, effectively going backwards, making sure he's not getting hit with silly shots, which is good, but he's also in his comfort zone. He doesn't feel any real threat to make him go like, oh, switch on, wake up. He's just in his comfort zone, I feel. He's not looking at what's available. I think that's something else he can work on. When he watches his back, he will see the amount of openings he had to go to the body. But then again, being a taller fighter, it's probably hard to see the body or to even reach out for the body and think you're not going to get counted. So I do understand that. But he can start by just throwing jabs to the body, slowly getting closer, and then, you know, throw a jab and then a hook to the body. And then you just start like that, just finding the body slowly.
And if not between rounds, and maybe between fights, because we only have 2 rounds to go, we're entering the 3rd round here at the Rise and Fall at York Hall. You need, I would believe, to talk to Jahid about that instinct. Like, oh, that's a nice body shot from the outside, got him clean, and your instinct, if you're comfortable, should be to kill, not to be relaxed and just go through the rounds, because he only got 4 to make a statement. I think if he is this comfortable and isn't worried about a threat, he should be pouring it on. We should be seeing 3-4 punch combinations every time he throws.
Yeah, and I mean, that kind of instinct is something that he may generate as he moves on. But as of now, I feel like Jahid is just comfortable being on the back foot. You know, when a lot of fighters turn over, they still got the amateur style. And that amateur style was, you know, fast hands and fast feet.
Just score.
Just score, and that's the style he's got now. I mean, he's boxing beautifully. I think he's got a good sense of boxing. He's using his jab well, he's moving well. But as you develop into a pro, you just start to learn and, you know, start to appreciate holding your feet more, getting big, you know, landing big shots and then getting out of there. So your feet slow down a little bit. I don't think he's developed that style yet.
Right, when he landed to the body with that clean winging shot from the right hand, I thought it should have been followed up with something. That, to your point, I believe is something that a more seasoned professional would immediately do. One shot at a time, especially if you're starting to have success, isn't going to get it done. And I can't really emphasize this enough. We've only got 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And you need to start making a statement, even this early in your career. If you are flashy, if you are aggressive, if you are looking for the knockout, people will come to the fight looking for you.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I feel like he can develop that still. His body still looks young. He looks soft. But he would generate, man strength to get strong. He's putting combinations there together nicely. He's getting more comfortable now. Maybe he can hit us.
yeah. You can tell he's a talented guy. Listen, he's got skills. He's well trained, and you're right. He's comfortable in there for a reason because he knows what he's doing. However, I think, as you say, as he's ticked over now, he might need to tick it up a bit.
I think so too. Yeah. He can just start pressing forward now. He's back the first 2 rounds. Go in there and just try and be a killer for the last 2. Try something new. Sit in there, push him back. But his arms are long enough. When he went to the body earlier in that round, it was a great combination. His arms are long enough. He can throw from the outside and still be out of danger.
He threw a clean body shot from the outside.
Yeah,
Not everybody can do that. You need a certain kind of build to pull that off. And see what I'm saying? Right now, he's satisfied to move and reset. I think he should stay in the pocket, mix it up. I don't believe much is coming back from Narvaez power-wise. So at your range, you could stay out of range, out of harm's way, and still deal your offense.
Yeah.
That's the advantage that you have with the body type you're up against, and as long and tall as you are. Headed into the 4th and final round of this fight. It has been entertaining. I wasn't sure what we were going to get from Narvaez, but we got somebody who's willing to engage, which at any level is better than a fighter who's just running and surviving. Narvaez is not doing that. And so we'll see in this 4th and final round now that Jahid Munim is comfortable, that he knows what he's up against, that he knows he's only got 3 rounds left, if he can punctuate this win with a few highlights. As the controversy is being discussed about Usyk and Dubois, after this fight, I want to get your thoughts on where these belt lines should be. It's interesting to me that the referee hasn't pushed that belt line down. Like, we got to start making some kind of real belt line decisions that are uniform across the entire sport. I can't see either one of these guys' belly buttons. It's kind of interesting to me.
There's not a lot of body there, to be honest.
There's not a lot of body there. Just elbows and shoulders.
That's probably why Jahid can't find it.
Yeah. And it's a bit unfair because, you land a clean shot to the body, that should go to the ribs.
Yeah.
That's taking away some bit of effective offense. I like that turn. I'll tell you one thing, you're not catching Jahid on the ropes. He's not stuck in the mud. He's steady moving, steady turning. I'd like to see him put more punches together, but he is definitely getting some valuable experience tonight.
Most definitely.
And
as the rounds have gone on, he has got better with his movement. But if I had to criticize his movement, the only thing I would say, he's moving a bit too much. If he could find his way around back to the center every time he moves, he'd save more energy. Because let's say, for example, he's doing an 8 rounder and he's stepping up. That's heavy on your legs, just continuously going around. With a better level of opposition, they'll learn to cut the ring. They'll learn to cut the ring off better. So this is a bit too much movement going around and not circling back to the center where he can find the breather and hold his feet a bit more, probably put some big shots.
And not taking advantage of his angles. If you are moving and you're able to step around, well, when you step around, you should deliver something. There should be some offense there after you get out of harm's way. Right there, you see an over-the-top kind of right hook, but you follow up that with a straight left hand while Narvaez is out of position.
Yeah,
that's an easy shot to land.
I love that little sneaky uppercut he throws though with the lead hand as well,
Have we seen one of those uppercuts land yet? I'm looking because that seems he believes to be his money punch. I want to see it go.
There it is again with the right. It's just skimming off the glove. Not one of them has landed clean yet.
Not quite getting in there. And again, if you were to set it up with 2 or 3 shots ahead of that, it might be there for him. These are things that you learn. This is what these early fights are for. And he is in good form. I see him working on things. And I believe this will be a fighter with some success down the line. We need to review this tape back in the gym and see where we might have been able to take advantage of some things that we left on the table. See, coming out of a defensive crouch like that, taking 2 or 3 shots on the arms, you gotta make him pay. You gotta then, no, your offense. It's not time to move, it's time to punish.
I'd love to see him try to uppercut to the body.
Yeah. I want to see that. At this point, that uppercut land anywhere. There we go. That's the final bell. 4 rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee lead entry scores about 40 to 36. And your winner, still undefeated, Jahid.
Insatiable rounds under your belt. How are you feeling after that performance?
I'm feeling good, speaking about 1.5 years. I'm in the ring, so it's good to get the ring rest off.
Yeah, 2 years, 1.5, 2 years out of the ring. How important are those learning rounds for you with someone as experienced as Cristian Narvaez?
What it is you don't want to get involved with those swinging shots. So these rounds just keep my composure, take my shots.
He's a comfortable fighter. He was kind of pushing that pace throughout. What was your strategy as the round to progress?
The journeyman, they can take a lot of shots, so it's more just me looking for a knockout or something like that, so just move around the box.
You debuted in 2019. You had a little bit of a break. You've got the ring rust off now. Is it your intention to stay busy, stay active, and keep it pushing?
Yeah, we're definitely just waiting for the next day now, just want to keep active.
Well, listen, it's so good to have you back in the ring. We look forward to seeing you back in action.